Hey everyone, after several months I have finally finished up this desk that I got off the side of the road, so stay tuned to see how I transformed it from this into this. Check it out. So as you can see, this desk is in pretty rough shape. I've had to use caulk on a lot of the sides, and it has a country vibe, which is not what I'm going for. And then there's the drawers, where some child decided to channel his inner Picasso, including on the inside. First, I removed the hardware. Then I filled in the holes using Dixie mud, which is basically a wood filler from Dixie Belle. And as you can imagine, based on what you saw with the drawers, there were a lot of holes for me to fill. After adding some primer, I used Anchor from Dixie Belle's Silk Paint collection. It has a built-in top coat and primer, but I do want to add a little bit of primer just to make sure there's no bleed through. And because it's jet black, I'm going to add a few coats. I did about 3 or 4. I'm doing a custom blend, which is 3 parts drop cloth, more of a cream color, and 1 part fluff, which is a brighter white. The goal is to make this look like marble, and I'm going to do a few things here. First, I'm going to paint it on there and let it dry. This is where it gets kind of funky, but stick with me. I'm using a sponge and I'm dabbing on some cobblestone and French linen. These are going to be my deeper, earthy colors, and then I'm going to feather them in with a lot of water and a brush. I don't want to be able to see where it begins and where it ends because I want this to look as natural as possible. Then I diluted some whitewash glaze and I brush it on very lightly and wipe it back immediately. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm wanting those streaks to look like they're set in the stone, and I think this is the best way I can get that effect. Now it's time to add the hardware. I do some measuring and then put my hardware jig in place. I've never used one of these before and I absolutely love it. It's very easy to use. If you do this at all, I highly recommend getting one of these. This was like $8. Once I measure it out, I drill the holes and add the brass hardware, which I purchased from Lowe's. I screw them in and it's all ready to go. This was my inspiration, which is from Our House Furniture. I love how this turned out. I think candles can really make or break a piece, and I think it looks great. Here's a reminder of the before and the after. For more content, be sure to give me a follow on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.